it's kind of late. Why don't you guys fire away? We'll get you rolling so you can get your stories in.
Brian Everett's game tonight, both good and bad. What'd you make of his performance?
I think you hit it on the head, good and bad. But I think there's a lot to learn from, I think that we've said this. He does so many really good things, but there are things that he has to experience, and he experienced some things tonight that I think are going to make him a better quarterback. So, what's it, 16 starts? Some of the things that happened tonight are things that he's going to be able to take and build off of and be a better quarterback because of it.
When he came back to the sidelines, was he able to explain to you pretty cogently what he did wrong on some of those turnovers?
Oh, yeah. We have a very good line of communication where we can talk about the things that are going on in the game. We made some adjustments that allowed him, I think, at one time to throw 26 consecutive completions, but we also made some mistakes. But again, he is level-headed and to the point where he wants to get better, and he's learning and seeing things out there that clearly that he's learning and going to get better from too. So we just can't duplicate them, and he knows that moving forward.
How was your defense able to overcome 5 turnovers?
Yeah, well, we not that it's a good thing. We turned the ball over 3 times in the 20-yard line, so we never put them on a short field. I think Everett's whether it was I guess it was ruled technically not a forward pass on the fire situation. I think that was on the 26-yard line. His fumble was on the inside the 20. So they had long fields there. The fumble, again, the running back fumble was, again, on a long field. So, Al, I'd say we were driving the football and shooting ourselves in the foot more so than, cataclysmic kind of, mistakes where we put them in, plus field position situations.
Brian, could you explain your preparation and your approach to combat their blitz game?
Yeah, they went 3 down. They had been a 4-down team on first and second down at about 92% over the last 2 years, and then just totally went all 3 down and fire zone pressures. So with those kinds of pressures, we went to our our now game, which is getting the ball out on the perimeter to combat it. And I think it slowed it down, neutralized it, and allowed us some looks that we could control the football and move the ball without putting Everett in a position where you saw we got sacked early on. I wasn't going to put him in and open up the formations and put him in that situation.
Did you think at this stage that your run defense would be as good and as consistent as it's been up to this point?
We got some big guys in there. We got some athletic guys. We lost a lot of really good players, but we feel like we've got some big physical players that can stop the run, and we're built for it. Now, we got to do a better job on the edge of our defense. Our corners got to play better. We got a little soft in the third quarter, and we got to play better out there because you can be great at stopping the run, but if you're giving up big chunk plays on the perimeter, that's not a good situation.
Building off Tim's first question, what were your immediate thoughts on how the revamped offensive line performed, both in the run game and the pass game?
Yeah, I'm probably going to need more time to watch it. There was so much going on in there. I mean, there was no traditional fits in there. I mean, there was people flying in over. There was very rarely was there a true inside linebacker. There were overhangs. We had some key third down conversions. I think at one time we were probably 60 or 70% in third down conversions. So that's always good when you're running the football in third down and they know it. I was happy with the ability to run it when they knew we were going to run it, and they were obviously stacking the line of scrimmage. So there were some good things there.
Did Collinsworth just opt in before the game tonight, or?
He was really pegged for an emergency situation, more so than, we want to get him back to full speed before we, put him in the.
What was your perspective on the spike attempt by Everett before the half?
You know, we have guys upstairs who saw it. And they thought that his arm was moving forward, but I mean, I'd have to have a better perspective of it than just what somebody was telling me.
Coach, Will Fuller, could
Yeah.
you just talk about it? It seems like he's now just getting into his zone.
Yeah, you know, I got on him because, you know, we threw a quick screen to him the very first series, and he didn't pick up the first down. And I said to him, I think you're a better player than that. I think there's more. He says, Coach, get me the ball again, and I'll score on that same screen, and he did. And I think that's the kind of player Will Fuller is. I think he's an explosive player. I think he's an exceptional player. And we got to keep on him. We got to keep pushing him to be great, because I think he can be a great player. He has a tendency to act young, if you know what I mean. And he's not. He's an exceptional player that needs to act like an exceptional player.
Troy Hunter's first action turned out pretty well.
Pretty good for the first time. You saw the guys were pretty excited for him. He's well liked by all the players, and it was nice to get him in there and catch a touchdown.
Ryan, can you give a specific example of something that Everett experienced tonight, the reference you made?
You know, I think, you know, taking care of the football is obviously the most important thing for the quarterback to do. He cannot turn the football over. Through a pick six, you know, we fumbled the football on a scramble, and then obviously, you know, whether you believe it or not, you know, the spiking of the football turned into a turnover. So, you know, when the quarterback is responsible for the football and he turns it over 3 times, that has to be addressed, and he has addressed it in his own mind. And you know, Everett's not a thin-skinned kid. You know, he knows what he has to work on, and we addressed it, and he knows he's got to get better at it, and he will. He'll work on it during the week of practice, and he knows it can't be something that he continues to do, because we won't win the games that we need to win if he turns it over.
Coach, how much of Corey's game tonight was the hand getting better for him?
The big part of Corey's game tonight was his ability to be a complete wide receiver, in the sense that everybody, you know, has a sense that Corey is this big target that's rangy, that you just throw it up to him. And we did that tonight, and he scored a touchdown. But he caught 6 passes on the perimeter where he had to turn back that big body, catch it with a cast on, and then run after the catch in traffic. And that says a lot about his development as a complete wide receiver. So I think that tonight was a big night for him.
Coach, you put a lot on the shoulders of the receivers from a blocking standpoint in this game, and they've been a little inconsistent early. Can you talk about how important it was that they played well?
Yeah, CJ Procise, you know, was huge tonight. I mean, his ability to stabilize the Sam linebacker and the nickel on the perimeter was huge for us. And then Will Fuller held his own against their corner. And if we were going to get overwhelmed at that position, we would not have had some of the success that we had. So blocking was key for us at the wide receiver position tonight.
Just a couple more before we bring Everett up.
Ryan, how much does a game like this, where you make a bunch of mistakes, is it, you know, does it qualify as like the perfect learning tool?
Yeah.
You know, you come away with a win, but you also have a lot of places where you can show them.
Well, you could tell in the locker room there was not the normal chatter, excitement. They knew they did not play the kind of football necessary to win each and every week. This game will get you beat week in and week out. And we made enough plays, big plays, to overcome it. And it was asked earlier how we did that. It was because we were moving the football so effectively, and it just happened that our turnovers happened in plus territory. But I'm a much better teacher after a win. And certainly tonight our quarterback can learn a lot from really having a great performance too. I mean, he did a lot of really, really good things. He threw the ball on target down the field, and his perimeter throws were outstanding. So he did a lot of good things, but can learn so much from it. That's a great teaching tool.
You guys use a lot of different formations, personnel groupings tonight.
Yeah.
Is that just got you being comfortable with things, or was that more of a situational thing against there?
No, we needed to be more. We needed to be more driven in 2 tight ends. We think we can get into some more formations over the next coming weeks. I think we can get into some 3 tight end situations, and they don't have to be compressed formations as well. So we got split backs in tonight with both backs. I think it will begin. We're starting to feel a lot more comfortable being able to use more formation groupings, and I think you'll see more of that as the weeks unfold.
Coach, is there any update on the 5 players currently being allowed?
It would have to be smoke signals, because I've been focused here on what we're doing here with our football team.
Thanks, guys. We're going to bring Everett up. Thank you.
Thanks.